I'm 92 years old. I'll be 93 in April if I make it that far. The doctors say I'm doing fine for my age, but I know what fine means when you're this old. It means you're still breathing, and that's about it. I need to tell you something I've been carrying for 7 decades. Not because it'll make me feel better, I'm past that, but because I see younger people making the same mistake, and I can't take it with me without at least trying to say something. The lie I believed was simple. I thought hard work was enough. I thought if I just kept my head down, did my job, provided for my family, that everything else would work itself out. That love and connection would just be there waiting whenever I was ready to pay attention to it. It won't. I learned that the hardest way possible, and I learned it too late. Let me go back. I need you to understand how reasonable it all seemed at the time. I was 23 when I started at the accounting firm in Philadelphia, fresh out of Penn State, new wife named Caroline, baby on the way. This was 1957. You worked hard back then. That's what men did. You provided. Nobody questioned it. My father worked in a steel mill for 41 years. Came home exhausted every night, barely spoke, fell asleep in his chair after dinner. But we had food, we had a house. My mother never said he was doing anything wrong. That was love as far as I understood it, showing up, working, putting food on the table, so that's what I did. Caroline was 21 when we got married, pretty girl. Worked as a secretary before the wedding, quit when she got pregnant like women did back then. We had our son Michael in February of '58. 3 more kids after that, Susan in '60, David in '63, Jennifer in '66. I worked 50, 60 hours a week, sometimes more during tax season. The firm was growing. I made junior partner in '64, full partner in '71. We bought a house in the suburbs, 4 bedrooms, good schools. Everything I thought I was supposed to do. Caroline managed the house, she managed the kids. I came home, ate dinner, asked how everyone's day was, watched some television, went to bed. Weekends I did yard work, fixed things around the house. Sometimes I played catch with Michael or David if there was time. It seemed like enough. My colleague Robert worked with him for 18 years, used to leave early every Tuesday to coach his son's Little League team. I remember thinking he wasn't serious about his career, too distracted. His son Brian was the same age as my David, and I'd see them at games sometimes when Caroline dragged me along. Robert would be out there on the field showing the kids how to throw, laughing, making a fool of himself. I sat in the bleachers with the other fathers checking my watch. David asked me once, he was maybe 9 years old, if I could help coach his team. They needed another adult. I told him I was too busy with work. He said okay and never asked again. Robert's son Brian went to college on a baseball scholarship. Robert died of a heart attack in 1989, 61 years old. At the funeral, Brian spoke for 20 minutes about his father, told stories, cried, said his dad was his best friend. I remember standing there thinking, well, at least Robert had that. I didn't understand yet what I was admitting. My daughter Susan got married in 1982. She was 22. I walked her down the aisle, gave a toast at the reception. Short toast, I'm not good with words. I said I was proud of her and wished her and Tom a happy life. What I didn't say, what I didn't even realize I didn't know, was anything real about her. Her friends mentioned things in their speeches, how she volunteered at an animal shelter every Saturday, how she wanted to be a veterinarian but was afraid she wasn't smart enough, how she called her best friend Rachel every night at 10 o'clock to talk. I didn't know any of that. Caroline knew everything. But I'd somehow thought that information would just transfer to me automatically because we were married, because we lived in the same house. It doesn't work that way. Susan lives in Colorado now. We talk maybe 3 times a year. Birthdays, Christmas, she's polite. She asks how I'm doing. I can hear her wanting to get off the phone. Caroline started getting sick in 1998. Small things at first, forgetting words, losing her keys. We were both 70 by then, retired, and I figured it was just age. It wasn't. Alzheimer's. The doctor told us in the spring of 1999 in an office that smelled like antiseptic and had motivational posters on the wall. Caroline was sitting next to me. She took my hand. I remember her hand was cold. The doctor said we had time, maybe 5 years, maybe 10. Use it wisely, he said. I didn't know what that meant. We'd been married 42 years. I thought I knew her. I thought we were fine. We never fought. We had a nice house. I'd provided everything she needed. But sitting there in that office, her hand in mine, I realized I couldn't remember the last time we'd had a real conversation about something that mattered, about what she was afraid of, or what she dreamed about, or what she wished she'd done differently. I didn't know her favorite color. I didn't know if she was happy. I didn't know what she thought about when she was alone. I'd been living with a stranger for 42 years. She deteriorated slowly. For the first couple years, she was mostly herself, just forgetful. We did some traveling, Italy, Ireland, places she'd always wanted to go. I thought that would fix things, make up for lost time. But you can't make up for 40 years of not paying attention with a 2-week trip to Rome. By 2002, she didn't recognize our kids most of the time. By 2004, she didn't recognize me. I took care of her at home until 2006. Then she needed more care than I could give. The nursing home was nice, expensive, clean. The staff was kind. She died in March of 2007, 78 years old. At the funeral, I tried to write a eulogy. I sat at the kitchen table with a blank piece of paper for 3 hours. I couldn't think of anything to say that wasn't generic. She was a wonderful wife and mother. She worked hard. She was kind. True but empty. Our daughter Jennifer ended up giving the eulogy. She had stories, specific things, how Caroline used to bake chocolate chip cookies every Sunday and let the kids eat the dough, how she kept a garden in the backyard and talked to the plants, how she wrote poetry in a notebook she kept hidden in her nightstand drawer. I didn't know about the poetry. After the funeral, I found the notebook, 3 decades of poems about her life, her kids, her fears. Some of them were about me, about feeling invisible, about wondering if I loved her or just tolerated her. I read every single one. It took me 2 days. I cried more in those 2 days than I had in my entire life before that. She'd been right there the whole time, trying to be seen, and I'd been at work, or in the garage, or watching television, or asleep. I can't fix it. That's the part that sits in my chest like a stone. She's gone. I can't go back and ask her about the poems. I can't tell her I'm sorry. I can't have one real conversation with her, the kind I should have been having every day for 40 years. She's gone, and I'm still here, and all I have is regret. Michael, my oldest, had a heart attack 3 years ago. He survived, but barely. He's 67 now. When I visited him in the hospital, he looked old. I'd somehow still been thinking of him as a kid. We talked for a while, small talk mostly. Then he said something I wasn't expecting. He said, "Dad, I don't really know you." I didn't know what to say. He said, "I'm 67, you're 90. If we're gonna know each other, it has to be now." So I've been trying. We have lunch every couple weeks. We talk, really talk. I tell him things I never told anyone, about being scared when he was born, about feeling like I had no idea what I was doing, about my own father, who never said he'd loved me once in his entire life. Michael listens. Sometimes he shares things too, about his own kids, my grandchildren who I barely know, about his marriage, about his fears. It's good, it's something, but it's also sad because I can't stop thinking about all the years we didn't do this, all the lunches we could have had when he was 25 or 35 or 45. We're doing it now because we're running out of time, not because I finally figured out what mattered. My neighbor Helen died last month, 90 years old. I'd lived next to her for 16 years and barely knew her beyond waving hello. At her funeral, her daughter talked about how Helen used to write letters to prisoners, trying to give them hope. Wrote 3 letters a week for 20 years, hundreds of people. I had no idea. 16 years, same street. I could have knocked on her door anytime. I didn't. I'm thinking about you now. Whoever's listening to this, you're probably younger than me. Maybe a lot younger. You probably think you have time. You don't have as much as you think. If I could go back, I would ask more questions, real questions, not how was your day while I'm reading the newspaper. I mean, sitting down, looking someone in the eye, and asking what they're afraid of, what they want, what keeps them up at night. If I could go back, I would miss more work, not all of it, but some. I would coach that little league team. I would take my kids to school sometimes instead of Caroline doing it every single day. I would call in sick once in a while, just to spend a day with my wife doing nothing. What I didn't understand was that presence isn't the same as proximity. I was there, physically in the house at the dinner table, but I wasn't there. My mind was always somewhere else. Work, bills, things that needed fixing. The people I loved needed fixing too, not because they were broken, but because love requires maintenance. It requires attention. You can't just set it up and assume it'll run forever on its own. I didn't understand that work was never going to love me back. The firm didn't cry when I retired. They had a little party, gave me a plaque, and hired someone else, 38 years, and I was replaced in 2 weeks. But the people I ignored, they can't be replaced, and neither can the time. There's a book I read a few years ago that I wish I'd read when I was 30. It's called The Top 5 Regrets of the Dying by Bronnie Ware. She was a palliative care nurse, and she wrote down what people said when they were dying. The biggest regret, I wish I'd had the courage to live a life true to myself, not the life others expected of me. I lived the life I thought I was supposed to live, worked hard, provided, stayed married, raised kids, but I didn't live it, I just showed up. Another book that might help, it's called Tuesdays with Maury by Mitch Albom. It's about a man visiting his dying professor, and the professor tells him what actually matters: love, connection, showing up emotionally, not just physically. I wish I'd understood that earlier. The third book is When Breath Becomes Air by Paul Kalanithi. He was a neurosurgeon who got terminal cancer at 36. He wrote about what matters when you're running out of time. Spoiler, it's not your career. I'm not saying don't work hard, provide for your family. I'm not saying I regret giving my kids a stable home and food and education. But those things aren't enough on their own. You can do both. You can work and be present. You can provide and still know your wife's favorite color and what your kid is afraid of and what your friend dreams about. I didn't think I had to choose, but by not choosing, I chose wrong. I'm 92. I've probably got a year, maybe 2, if I'm lucky, or unlucky, depending on how you look at it. I spend most of my time alone now. My kids visit sometimes. Michael comes by the most. We have our lunches. Susan calls occasionally. David lives in Seattle, sends Christmas cards. Jennifer's busy with her own grandkids. I don't blame them. I wasn't there for them. Why would they be here for me? I think about Caroline a lot. I wonder what she would have said if I'd really asked her, what she needed from me. I wonder if it's possible she would have told me she was lonely, that she felt like she was raising the kids alone even though I was right there. I wonder if we could have fixed it, but I didn't ask, so I'll never know. The thing about time is that it feels infinite when you're young. 70 years feels like forever. Then you blink and it's gone and you're old, and everyone you love is either gone or distant, and you can't get any of it back. I'm telling you this because I can't fix my own life. It's too late for me. But maybe it's not too late for you. If this meant something to you, I'm glad I said it. There are other stories like this on this channel if you want to hear them. People my age trying to pass something along before we can't anymore. Leave a comment if you're willing. Tell me I'm wrong or tell me you understand. Either one's fine. I'm running out of time to tell the truth. Lies feel too expensive now. So that's it. That's what I needed to say. Don't wait.